The relationship with the apple is because he was sitting under a tree and an apple fell on his head, and what happened? No, he didn't lose his memory, but he...
How they fell?
Right. That was his question. How does this happen? Right? A very simple, based on observation, a very simple question came up. And then what did he discover?
Gravity?
Gravity. That's right. The idea of this is that we don't have to ask very difficult questions to discover very big things, right? Yes, they were looking at different animals and they came to the butterflies, right? That was the observation. So we already went through this first phase of the scientific method. So what was the scientific question? What was the scientific question?
Were the butterflies wet?
That's right. So that was the question. So who came with the scientific question? Who asked the question? The little girl, right? She asked the question, hey, where are the butterflies coming from? Where did they go? So what was the hypothesis? Go ahead.
Perhaps they only come in winter.
That's the hypothesis, right.
One of the great things about this book is how it goes into the scientific method. A lot of times kids think it's just a straightforward linear process, one thing leads to another. But sometimes the scientific method circles back, like in the book, where his child is asking questions, and that leads to some conjectures or some hypothesis, which leads to more questions, and then observations. And so I think the great thing about the scientific method in this book, it shows that it's not just something that happens in books, but it actually happens in your life day to day, where you see something happen, it makes you wonder about it, and you research it and find some answers that leads you to more questions. And that's really the beauty of science, is that good questions lead to more questions. And it's the thrill of discovery, I think, that really catches children's imagination, and why they love science so much is by pursuing the scientific method. They learn that it's not just, again, in the classroom or in the laboratory, but it's in their daily lives, that if they look at things critically and ask questions, they can actually find answers and find out things that maybe even adults hadn't known before. So again, it's sort of the joy and thrill of discovery through the scientific method is really illustrated in the book, both literally and figuratively. I find that this book covers so many different things in terms of science, but also in terms of a personal story that kids can relate to. In terms of science, we go over the life cycle of the butterfly and its migration, but also it's a story about a father working with his daughter to create something. And I think having a dream or an idea become something tangible and real is a powerful message for my students and for children in general, to see that whatever you think of, you can actually have an impact on the world and create something beautiful. I think by donating these books, children have the idea that science can be relevant to them, that they can see that when you see an issue in the world, like butterflies having difficulty surviving, you can do something about it. And science isn't something abstract or something just in the laboratory. It's something in the real world. So when they receive the book, they're making a connection both with the butterflies and with the larger issues that they're facing. And again, it also gives them the idea that they can make their ideas become reality, whether it's a book or some other project that they come across. So for me, it's just a fantastic project.
I think it was really cool how first it was a little book and now he made it into a big book. What I think what was good about it is he gave everyone a copy of a book.